Luca Menzel has to ask himself now, is it time to go to Paris or to do your homework and prepare for the main event on this coming week?
I love that.
Thank you.
And now, one set card from Damien. That could mean plenty of things, Bo, and it is followed up by MALISS in Underground, and no response to that there. There is not many responses actually in this, and we are going to banish the Dormouse, a card that makes dreams come true, and maybe for Damien, the dream of going to the World Championship will be enabled through this Dormouse here.
Yep, and Dormouse basically closed the door on the first chance of going to Worlds for Tom Luca already because, okay, Infinite Impermanence. There is a set card. Is it a bluff or are we going to change something here? However, Dormouse was special summoned by its own effect after being banished by MALISS in Underground, so this could be impactful.
Damien is considering a set, and it is resolving. All right, so we got that one out of the way, but we also have not even normal summoned yet, so there is technically plenty of ways to still keep this rolling, but let's see, Damien doesn't look necessarily happy
because
right now.
when MALISS starts with MALISS in Underground, probably they don't have a real starter. Yeah. But a backup Igniser maybe...
I mean, Mattis deliberately started his last turn with MALISS in Underground, even though he had White Rabbit in hand, just because he thought it was a better way to start.
I mean, sometimes it becomes a mind game, right? Like when you're taking the route that is considered to be a little weaker. Oh, it is MTP though, and we didn't even decide to chain it to the Infinite Impermanence. Interesting. Did Tom maybe activate the Infinite Impermanence on the summon of Dormouse, possibly?
I think so. This might have been the absolute right call here.
I was searching for another Dormouse, though.
I think this answers our question.
Joel and Lockbird now, though,
does that do anything?
Tom as well. And that one resolves. We have done it on the normal summon immediately, but that makes room for the second Dormouse. That card is semi-limited to now come to the field, and it does resolve, bringing in the White Rabbit now as well.
White Rabbit, now are we going to see a GWC? Yes, indeed. Going to set the trap card from the deck immediately into the spell and trap zone, guaranteeing follow-up, playing around cards like Nibiru, the Primal Being.
And also draw. And as we discussed in the morning, we saw that GWC has made a lot of success today, and I think it should be in every MALISS list.
Yeah, I mean, when you just look at the deck list from the playoff, a couple of players did disagree, but when you now look at the players that have done well, that are in top 4, I think all 3 MALISS players in top 4 did play GWC in the main deck.
Your word in Slifer's mouth.
Yeah. If they would have all just listened to Mike Patuchas on here, you would have told them before the event. But here comes Splash Mage.
Go back to the first round.
Yeah. Splash Mage brings back the White Rabbit.
Also with the right target. This one hasn't used its Oh, it has. It doesn't even matter. Bestial would have hit pretty hard here, which we have seen in the last match can matter.
And don't forget that Tom right now has only 3 cards left in his hand.
He does, and now we do go for the White Rabbit. Let's get rid of those 2 cards in Tom's graveyard.
Do we also banish the MTP though? Doesn't look like it.
No, because
it looks like
you want to reset it with Binder.
Yeah, I thought we were going to use GWC and reset that one later on, and then try to banish the MTP so we can shuffle it back later on with Hard Crypta and then set it with the White Rabbit.
Under draw, you cannot extend so much, so it's better to keep both of them right now.
Yep.
And also against the RYZEAL, White Binder's effect to ban is not so relevant as it is to keep
Okay, and that's
GWC.
it. Honestly, I feel like that was sufficient what Tom Luca did there. Now with 4 cards in hand, and maybe a possible start with one of the most powerful RYZEAL cards like X RYZEAL or Ice RYZEAL. I can see what's happening. I can see what's going somewhere. We have a game, ladies and gentlemen, here in game number 1. And Tom Luca leads off this game here in his turn with... He is destined. Oh, he's taking it back. Which one is it going to be? He doesn't know himself just yet.
Already tough decisions to make just in the beginning of your turn.
Don't forget that Damien started with MALISS in Underground, so probably the other cards in his hand are hand traps.
Yeah, this could very well be true.
Oh, we're revealing number 104 Masquerade for 7th Tachyon. And this probably is going to be X RYZEAL, if I would have to guess. The downside of 7th Tachyon, of course, though, is you gotta put 1 card of your hand back to the top of the deck, meaning you are basically reducing the amount of cards in your hand while resolving this card. And we do go for Ice RYZEAL. Okay, we want that instead of X RYZEAL here. I mean, there's not really a good target to be I mean, actually, Valen might be pretty good to send here, isn't it? Because there's two set cards for Damien, and you could immediately be forcing those out.
But I mean, yeah, I guess if you're using MTP or just banishing an X, the GWC doesn't really do too much right now. And also an Ice RYZEAL here.
Okay.
I can also see that if this is a card that if Damien has low impact hand traps like Valor, like Impermanence, I mean Impermanence not really anymore, but Ash Blossom, I think it would be a good shout here, even though, yeah, I think that would be a pretty strong play here.
Ice RYZEAL, and is it going to resolve is the question. Damien really thinking about this, and I think in my head at least, Effect Valor and Infinite Impermanence on this just feel like a sufficient answer to it, but both of these set cards are not Infinite Impermanence because we know both of them are MALISS trap cards, but instead MTP is the answer here.
And if you see a card like 7th Tachyon in the graveyard...
Oh, and there is Effect Valor as well, though, stopping Ice RYZEAL.
Wants to get rid of everything, the effect and the body here as well. Goes to get...
In order to play around short.
Yeah. It's a good choice here.
The only problem right now is X, obviously.
Oh.
Or maybe a Dododo Warrior.
That could also work wonders, but let's see. Looks like Tom has a clear plan. That looks like a spell card to me. Oh, we're discarding our last card in hand, which was a Sword RYZEAL. We can't special summon that, but now we're discarding it for the Ono Pariar, and we are allowed to search. That will give us some more gas to go into this. That is nice, because that will net us Do Warrior. There we have it, the beautiful Starlight Rare. Alongside... What's the other search target we want to get here?
I love this because Tom can now show us what the Onomat cards are made of, because on stream it hasn't performed too crazy well so far. What can you do with these cards? Also, we have discarded the RYZEAL Sword. We have used Ice, but if we go into generic rank 4 monsters, Duo Drive can actually get us some X. So if we can play here, this could be huge.
Oh, and look at this. So we searched for the Gambara Knight alongside the Dodo Warrior, and now we're sending the gloves, of course, for the effect of the Warrior. And that is just putting pressure on Damien here. It's kind of demanding a response, but we also know there is still the other monster waiting in the hand, so I feel like there might be a way for Tom to get to a rank 4 here, really.
And I mean, Damien, the GWC doesn't really do anything. There's no Whitebinder in the graveyard. There's no cards where you can really snowball here, right? Usually GWC gets you the Whitebinder and then banishes more cards, and then you have the Hard Crypta, banish the White Rabbit, set MTP, but MTP has already been used. MTP plus Effect Valor on this Ice RYZEAL. This card just demanded to Gagaga Cowboy, one of my favorite cards, being shown here.
Yeah, revealed, and we go into rank 4, and Damien has to let this happen. Tom actually playing into the field, may be able to overcome this MALISS field, as he has done plenty of times already. Now we go for Infernal Banshee. That is a card that is not quite Duo Drive, but still can fetch us a plenitude of different Pyro monsters from our deck.
And to be honest, I think at this game stage, Tom can actually access Protoss and just call Dark. And
if it would only be in his main deck, though, he's not maining the Protoss, sadly.
And also, he doesn't play Nemesis Flag, right?
He doesn't.
So this Flame Banshee doesn't get you to Protoss at all.
Oh, but there is Nibiru from Damien. That is massive. Tributing all of that, packing up our cards. Damien Vala, and the crowd loves it. Tom Luca with the back against the wall, but going first, and therefore ready to show his combo now this time around. And let's see. Okay, Leo already preparing the options that there could be. Called by the Grave, of course. Why not? Why not? But let's see which is the starting point. 7th Tachyon once more. The thing, though, is if we start with 7th Tachyon, Tom Luca build the deck, which has a tool around Droll and Lockbird with those Dodo cards. But when you have to start with this card, it's massively playing into those cards. Cool thing, though, is now you may as well just search Ice RYZEAL, right? Because we saw him search Ice RYZEAL earlier. I think searching X RYZEAL is probably not sufficient anymore, because Ice RYZEAL just plays around, and we see he is going for that, plays around Droll and Lockbird a little bit better.
we've seen, I could see, I think, that there is an Ash Blossom in the hand of Damien, and he seems to not be afraid of Artifact Lancea.
Looks like it, but there is Majol and Lockbird! And is there something to counter it? Triple Tactic Talents, we're looking into the hand. What do we have there? Show us, Damien, show us. Ooh, that's not much, Engine. Wow. That's backup Ignister, a March here, a Droll and Lockbird, and an Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. That's not many plays. I feel like Tom may as well just take away the backup? I feel like the backup, right? The Ash Blossom.
I mean, he wants to have the detonator on the field, right? If he doesn't have too many extenders in hand, just go normal summon Ice RYZEAL, put up a rather big detonator. Still 2 materials is not the greatest, but it is working. And then if your opponent only has, I guess, Marcher and the backup at Ignister,
it can be a lot, honestly, because backup at Ignister just searches you for just Dormouse or something, and then it can go quickly, but Tom honest, has a plan.
I had a sneak into Tom's hand, and I can understand why he chose to...
Does he have a Lancea?
Not Lancea, something else, to leave the backup on Damien hand.
All right, let's see, Tom Luca, which monster are we going to summon out? He played around that card so beautiful around the Drone Lockbird by searching out the Ice RYZEAL, and now we go for Star RYZEAL, fetching ourselves across for free. I mean, that alone is also dealing very nicely with the backup at Ignister, of course.
So that's also a nice way to play around Drone Lockbird if you're playing this RYZEAL Star, which is not always the best card to draw. I've realized that in the past few days. It's so good if you're getting draws. Triple Tactic Talents, of course, looking into the hand is always strong. Then you're seeing again Droll and Lockbird, great hand trap right now, especially against this deck, but it's just, if you have multiple, it doesn't do anything.
Okay. I think I may have understood what you have spotted, Mike, because that card, that Castle there on the field, is a clear indicator of what to see next, because that has to be Harpiest Featherstorm there. That is the set card for Tom Luca. And I mean, we know, Damien knows, everybody knows where at this point, basically, because you don't just end on that Castle without having the trap card next to it.
Do you have any clue what the card might be?
Yeah, I think it might be Harpy's Featherstorm. But I think Castle is a chill dude.
I mean, yeah, sure.
You can handle Castle.
Tom likes to hang out with Castle. I don't mind it. True. But now, of course, Damien tries to figure out the way to bait out the Harpiest Featherstorm with... Ooh, this is nice, because that signalizes we drew into another MALISS card, but now it also makes Tom sort of chain the Harpiest Featherstorm. Oh no, he allows it. Interesting. We summon March here. We banish MALISS in the mirror. Ooh, that's a tough banish, honestly.
Yeah, but now we let them commit the Marcher onto the field so that we can run over it in the next turn. Could have also, of course, changed that to any MALISS effect that activates in banishment. So real nice.
We're passing. Tom, what's the follow-up looking like? Do we have another one of those Ice RYZEALs, or maybe even an X RYZEAL? Ooh, we use the effect of Castel.
I like that.
Trying to spin back,
Burrows can be activated now.
Oh yeah, we get another draw. True. Very much so. It has been a while since I saw that effect from Castle resolving, ain't gonna lie.
Deserves a clap.
But it is, of course, still very valid. Oh, and there's no RYZEAL.
Oh, that is
we
much
already
better.
have no RYZEAL. Nice.
And also Tom has full knowledge of Damien hand.
And this
there is another Droll and Lockbird, right? Yeah, there is.
Yes.
This time
and one backup.
You don't use the draw. I think you're going to go for a 3-material detonator here next to RYZEAL Cross, knowing that there is only Droll and Lockbird and backup at Ignister in hand.
Maybe you can do even more. Look, we go dual drive. True. Why not? You get that for free, essentially. Get another material onto it. Using the effect, we all know there's no response.
You can even negate the Droll and Lockbird with this.
Yeah.
I think you just go for a game here.
Indeed. Yeah. I think there's plenty of things that we can still see here from Tom, and he is in the zone. As we said, he looked like he's still ready to rumble, and he absolutely is, and showcasing it here on the big stage. Ice RYZEAL. I mean, yeah, we haven't normal summoned yet. That looks very doable. And Damien recognizes that fact, and therefore score is even, and Tom Luca claims victory here in this second game.
Very, very smart. Duelists are ready. Let's see. Let's give us a handshake of good sportsmanship. Damien is going to go first. He's exactly in the position he wants to be here. But does he have the right cards Damien is now once again contemplating over the combo lines that he can go for here. And it looks like we're going to start with a normal summon of Chassis Cat.
Chassis Cat, any response? Tom Luca, is there another infinite
The moment of
impermanence?
truth.
He used to do that a lot, maybe even an artifact Lancea, Tom.
I
Will
think
be
that
already
one-
in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Yes! It is the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring saying no to Chassis. Oh, and Damien, it looked like he was... Oh, he doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. Activates the Malice in Underground just after.
I don't think that Lancea exists in this tournament. We have seen so many full Malice combos.
Hold on, though. More Charmy Meowths being chained to the Dormouse effect. That could be a lot of draws, possibly. Damien could, of course, though, have an answer to this.
That is the best Charmy, especially because it can also...
No response.
Oh, it can draw into a Lancea. Lancea is always good against the deck.
Yes, huge for Tom. After the Ash Blossom not putting in the work that he wanted to see, now that Meowth's giving him another draw, and more importantly, giving Damien kind of a problem to solve here in how he proceeds to play his turn even. Because, I mean...
Lines versus Fuwalos and Lines versus Purulia, they are kind of easy to do here, but this deck really wants to summon a lot from the banishment.
And it's very important what you said, Leo, that when you get Malcharmy, you never know if your opponent has a Lancea, because you pass the first checks, for example, with the field spell, but now Tom might draw it through the effect of Meowths.
And now infinite impermanence on the Dormouse as well. Damien doesn't really get to do what he wants to do because Tom has found a plentitude of answers here. And you can really tell Damien has been looking really confident throughout the entirety of the playoff whenever we had him on the feature match. But now he's really taking his moment to think about this.
I mean, he has a line to play, but that basically forces another draw out here. You can go into the Splash Mage here and special summon something back from the graveyard, and Meowth also provides a draw with that. Let's see what's going to happen next. Tom Luca has thrown loads of hand traps already, even preventing himself a draw. He negated the Dormouse with the infinite impermanence. Now gets another draw from that Chassis Cat. Maybe Damien is just going to go into a red ransom, search for something and then pass, or the white binder. We've seen that previously.
Oh my, this is really where the pressure is at. Game number 3 in the third place playoff. And Tom Luca is having his say in this here, even going second.
I think that Damien is just going to do a half field, which is either red ransom here or a white binder search for the MTP.
No, it's probably red ransom in order to take mirror, and then he can set the MTP with White Rabbit.
True, but where does he get the white rabbit from?
From the effect of ransom when he gets banished.
That's a very good point.
Let's see though, Damien is still not sure himself. Like all options are up there, and that looked like the white binder to me, to be honest.
I mean, he could commit, but if he's playing so many hand traps, just ending on a red ransom with a few hand traps
It is the red ransom though, it is, and Tom has another answer, and it is another infinite impermanence. And Damien just doesn't get anything going here, but also you gotta realize Tom Luca not having many cards left in hand, but there is the Wizard at Ignister, which in this case though is going to give Tom another card though.
Yeah, but it's only one card. If you're extending from this, what can you even do here? How much can you play on without giving more and more draws? Are you just passing on a Bomber Dragon here? But then again, do you even have follow-up to trigger it in the next turn? No, we're going Wicked.
That is indeed very wicked.
And the perma on red ransom was very important because it stopped two interruptions, not only one.
Yep, now the Cyber's Wicked activates, banishes the red ransom. Are we going to get that one back? We have to, right?
Yep, this might be another draw.
We do! Pay 900! And in that case, give Tom Luca a draw for it.
And it might actually banish out the White Rabbit as well. That's what it looks like. Might go for March Hare, even though, because that would give less draws. But at this point, I think Damien knows that Tom Luca has already used 3 other hand traps, I think. So I think it's very reasonable to just say, hey, you know what? At this point, I don't need to banish too much anymore. I can just go full combo. You draw up to your 4 cards and then try to play.
You know what would be a crazy card to draw into, though? Nibiru, the Primal Being. That would be the one card that Tom really desires right now. It was the March here in the end. It goes back into the hand through its own effect. Anything else that Damien wants to go into? I mean, at the very least, it is going to be the Topologic Bomber Dragon here. That's a link 4, maybe? Could also be IP
is a link
Masquerade,
3.
huh? Oh, okay,
He goes
yeah.
for the link.
True. Very true. That is the
He
white
cannot
binder now.
do that though, because
There's no Malice
There's
name,
no Malice card.
Yeah. All right, that is a very good point. We're going to inform the judges.
There was no Malice card involved, indeed.
But I guess still Wicked on the field is very strong against a RYZEAL deck. The other options right now for Damien is obviously to summon Bomber, as we said, or even summon a Code Talker. But
Oh yeah, there we go. We figured it out. Yeah, that white binder cannot be summoned because there was no Malice monster used for it. We have figured it out. Perfect.
Yeah,
we're still in the
figuring
process
it
of
out.
figuring out, but I think this looks good again. Yeah, that was the game state previously, and we just use the
and
red
Jessica is on the graveyard and not on the banishment.
I mean, now we're banishing with the white binder that we're summoning now. I think that is fine. And now we're going to be able to set either MTP or GWC. I think a good old GWC plus... Okay, we are going for MTP here. I mean, Damien also still has 3 cards left in hand. Okay, Marcher and backup at Ignister, so I think the other last card might have been Effect Veiler. Not too sure about that though. Goes for the backup at Ignister here.
Oh, you can feel.
Oh,
the
and that is a
pleasure in the
Perulia
banger.
as well. Do you chain Marcher to this?
I mean, apparently not.
Because
That's another
probably
card to draw.
Damien wants much higher for his turn in order to banish Red Ransom and then banish White Rabbit to
Searches
gain
for
one more
another
trap.
Marcher now. And I mean, at this point, it feels like Tom has seen half of his deck here, really,
Yeah.
right? We're drawing through cards, we're activating some alongside the process. 5 cards in hand for him here. That's huge.
Oh, we're going to go for another Link summon.
A Code Talker probably.
Yeah, Allied
Cryptor.
Allied Code Talker would give another draw for
Yeah.
the Meowls. So we're going for the hard Cryptor
I totally
here.
forgot about Cryptor.
That doesn't look like a big field you couldn't play into, Tom. With so many cards in hand as well. Use so many hand traps. But look at this. Using so many hand traps and still having Damien end on 2 banishes on the field immediately. And it also banishes from the graveyard. Even further setup. Has MTP set.
This is certainly going in a way that Tom Luca envisioned, though. This is something that he can handle. The RYZEAL deck has plenty of tools to play monsters even into a field, and now with 6 cards in hand, almost as if he never used any cards, even though he used plenty of them, has the chance to make it happen here.
I mean, if you use no hand traps against Malice, that's the field that I can create. that's the Crypto Pass technology.
All right, Tom, what's the first card we're going for? Carefully considering his options. Are we leading with an X RYZEAL or is it going to be an Ice RYZEAL? We have to figure it out.
The thing is, you can't really have too many more hand traps in hand, right? At this point, you've basically seen all of them. Also, having something like a Meowls in hand for this turn wouldn't be too bad, right?
Indeed, because whatever card it's getting banished with Marshare, obviously Tom will draw a card from a potential Meowls.
Yep.
All right, okay, so I think there is a judge call at the moment, so let's quickly bring it back over to us because there we have him. And we can continue. Yep, everything is good to go. And Tom, what is the card that you want to activate there for so long now already? Oh, and it is the Do Warrior. Can it do the trick for Tom, though? Can it be the card that takes him to the World Championship? That new card from Duelist Advance.
Damien just now, he's reading the Dwarf. Damien has to be incredibly careful on how to use his rather few interruptions there. He has access to White Binder and Graveyard with the Marcher. Also, good news for Tom is probably that he does... Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I can see that. Marcher is going to banish White Binder, and White Binder takes care of the Dwarf.
Yeah, that's like one of the very rare moments against the RYZEAL strategy where you actually get some value out of the White Binder, banishing something that's actually meaningful right now to Tom in the graveyard, because usually there is not that much in that scenario. And I think we might even try to banish more cards from Tom Luca's graveyard, really, because just trying to eliminate different attributes from his graveyard might be noteworthy, as we know that he's on Eschatos and Protoss, really.
But does Damien know?
That's a good question, yeah, for sure. I think that card, those cards are really popular in the
You
Onomad
can expect Protoss, probably.
Ooh, Ash Blossom,
That
though!
is so good.
Making sure that White Binder stays where it's at, and that is the banishment.
If you're curious why that worked, it is because the White Binder is also attempting to draw a card when being summoned, or offers the card draw, and that's why you can Ash Blossom this card. It stays where it's at, and now there is just a Marcher on the field, looking sad.
Looking very sad indeed, Damien, thinking about whether something else is there that he wants to activate.
I think you're waiting for Tom to commit into the first.
And there it is.
Someone. And I also like the fact that Tom on the previous round started with RYZEAL and then went to Onomatopia cards, and now we can see that he starts with Onomatopia cards and probably has RYZEAL in his hand. So he adapted his playstyle according to the field that he's facing.
Trying to confuse your opponent. Of course, the Dodo Warrior is a level 4 monster by now. That's the effect when it summons itself. Might ask yourself otherwise, why are you playing a level 6 card in your rank 4 toolbox deck? But no. Ooh,
yeah. I think we used the effect of. No, I think we used the effect of the Go Glove. Actually, that's what we were pointing at, and we special summoned one of our monsters from the hand.
Ooh, nice.
Which is the code in that case, and that brings us more and more level 4 monsters onto the field here. We keep on going.
The question
you said it, that the plan going second is to just summon as many as more level 4 monsters as you can.
Yeah. And we are doing well with that so far.
I think by now, Damien is just very good to wait a little bit here, right? You just wait until your opponent commits into Exceed summoning, because I don't think there are too many Exceed monsters that actually act on summon.
I mean, Exeton Knight is a scary one though, isn't it?
But you have way more cards than your opponent.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's true. I mean, is it way more? Let's do a quick math here. It's 4 on the field for Damien, and he has 2 more cards in hand. It's actually close, actually. Well, I think Exeter Knight would be viable here.
Might be.
But then we probably would have not summoned out the additional monster, because that is kind of contradicting to the plan of going after the entire field. But Tom Luca has decided on going for a rank 4 monster. Which one is it going to be, though?
Also, Tom Luca, he wants to deal damage this turn, choosing Violence immediately. That's
Ooh, that's a good one as well. That is the Light Dragon at Ignister. And I like this because this card was very popular in pure RYZEAL decks. And then it was off the radar for quite a while. But now, with Onomad RYZEAL, there's more slots in the extra deck again. It feels like a bit of a pure RYZEAL version as well with the Onomad cards as well. It plays like one at least. And therefore, this card is back into the extra deck and now even back here as a summon for Tom Luca.
Both players play Ignister cards, which is...
Yeah, true.
You just substituted basically the cards that are on the Forbidden and Limited list with Onomad cards.
Yeah. That is true. And Damien thinking about whether that is something he needs to worry about right now, because of course this card, or like monsters you control that would be destroyed by card effect, can be protected now. But I mean, destroying by card effect is not necessarily what the MALISS deck is trying to do. And now we activate MTP and we're trying to banish that Light Dragon immediately, I would imagine.
Yeah. That is
searches chassis.
Not the vibe of the MALISS deck to destroy something. No, we only banish, which makes things quite awkward in the mirror match sometimes. Light Dragon at Ignister, it's not a valuable combo piece. It is trying to break the field, and it got one interruption out. Chassis Cat being revealed again.
Yeah, I mean, you were forced to do this there kind of as well, because the Light Dragon Ignister, next to its protection effect, of course, has the effect to just destroy a card on the opponent's side of the field.
So Baba Bancho Gagaga Code can summon out the Dwarf.
Of course. There we go. That's why it is on the field. And now we can have 2 level 4 monsters. Leo, you asked me what he's trying to do. Just trying to summon a couple of level 4 monsters. And Tom Luca is doing pretty well with that so far. Got the MTP interruption out of the way already. And also note, he hasn't even searched once yet, so he hasn't even played into Droll and Lockbird. That's such a relief for the RYZEAL strategy, that it's just not always playing into Droll and Lockbird, but having ways even when that card would resolve, but so far no Droll just yet.
Neither has Norma summoned also. Yeah. It's very important.
That's true. Oh, that's Dugaris coming down here. I did not expect that card, but really Tom Luca going through everything but RYZEAL cards at the moment here. And we go for number 60. And that number 60 was on the field, but not anymore, as we immediately banish it with the Hard Cryptor. But now, is there maybe a good normal summon? Oh my, Leo, I told you we wanted to draw the Arc Nemesis cards. Which one is it? We have a fire, we have a water, and we have an earth. So which one is it? Mike, is it your most favorite card, Protoss, or is it Azkatos? Here
I know
it
it's my
comes.
boy.
It is indeed. No, it is Azkatos. There it is. And Azkatos is very similar to what Protoss does, but it's not for attributes, but for types. But guess what? Against MALISS, you just call Cybers, and they have a miserable day still.
But I think that Damien still has one last ace in terms of interruptions up his sleeve, and that is an Effect Veiler that might be sitting in his hand. If Tom Luca Menzel now calls Cybers and there is going to be an Effect Veiler, he still has to go through so many resources that Damien has. But now we're checking the Azkatos first.
Who needs Nemesis Flag when you could just draw into Azkatos or Protoss naturally? And I mean, he drew 10 cards or 11 cards due to the Molchavis there. But at some point, you are going to find those. And this is a precious moment to now summon it. But there is the Effect Veiler to answer it. So Damien will be able to continue summoning his Cybers